Anyway, I'm getting ready to make a couple items for my food prep. I've got some already made chicken, and now I'm working on the sweet potatoes. So you guys can hang out with me, and we can share this with a few other folks. Let me just get everything on so I can see you guys' comments. 2025. Let's see. Oh, that was actually a really funny one. I thought I was going to do something with that one. I loved it. All right, let's see here if I can go straight to the live. Oh, here it is. I found it. And now I can see you guys' comments if you make comments. And I meant to put on a microphone, so I hope y'all can hear me. My voice is still not great after getting over what I believe is hopefully just a regular cold and not the actual flu. All right, let's see if we can get this going. All right. There we go. So comments are ready. Also, if you guys have some other recipes, I'm going to try to do one that doesn't include a whole lot of carbs. So most of what I have is like just the potato, the chicken, and I have some green beans that were left over from Christmas that I'll be able to use right now. I clean these up really good on the outside so that I can, let me see, make sure you guys can see what I'm doing over here. I clean them up on the outside because I am actually going to keep the skin on. I am going to roast them, but there's like a lot of vitamins in the skin, so I don't want to get rid of those nutrients if I can help it. All right, let's see. Hopefully you can see what I have down here on the counter a little bit better. Yep, really big, nice size sweet potatoes. So I am going to cut off some of like the imperfections, but I'm just going to dice these up. Like I said, I'm keeping the skin on. They have been thoroughly cleaned, I promise. And I don't know what you guys are doing with any of your leftovers. I'm not a big turkey eater, so I'm not doing anything with turkey right now, although I do have some leftover turkey. We'll probably just eat those as regular leftovers. Oh, these are nice and fresh. Look at that. Oh, beautiful color. But yeah, I'm just going to dice these and roast them. And I think it's because my sister-in-law made some really good sweet potatoes yesterday. Whew. And at the end of the day, everything was literally gone. So she also made really good mac and cheese. I mean, all the food was great. My daughter made seasoned the turkey as a pro, even though she's not really a turkey eater. Probably not happy I'm sharing that information. Okay. But yeah, she did a great job seasoning yesterday. And frying. Oh, and frying the turkey. So that was actually pretty fun too. Nobody burned anything down. We did not destroy the house, thank God. My brother's house is still standing, even though we fried a turkey yesterday. So, and my dad actually supervised. So thank you, Dad, for supervising us and also making sure that we stay safe. So right now I'm making pretty big size dices because I want a little heft in my my bites. One of the things that I'm really trying to get better at, like my 2026, I guess, resolution, if you have to have one, is literally to meal prep a little bit more. My schedule is insane, to say the least. And so as much as I can prep ahead of time, the better. Oh, hello, Alyssa McLaughlin. Nice to see you. Welcome back. How you doing? Actually, let me make sure I say hi to you. The shirt that I'm wearing is my, a couple of years ago, I did a fundraiser in the city that I lived in, and it was a bike ride. that was actually pretty cool. We also had some hustle dancing, and my really dear friend Michael Mumford, actually his band came out and played, and we actually had so much fun. So I, feeling like home, I wanted to channel and just think about that. Yesterday we were looking so cute. You guys have to check out a link. I actually have to share it on here for Twitch to see some of our family fun during the holiday. Man, we cut up playing, what's the game called, Cameron? Huh? What was the game? Which one? That we played. That's like the internet game. The game's on the internet. Yeah, I know, but what was the name of the game that we played? CP Time. Oh, that. Yeah, we played that game. Oh my God, that was funny, y'all. First of all, I think most of my answers could be challenged. At least the ones I could remember. All right, got the proper bowl. And the only reason I'm pulling this out, oh, hello. Let's see, who is that? I got, oh, hello. Is it Wanaman? I can't even see. I need my glasses. Let me see if I can see your name. I want to make sure I give you guys a shout out. So thank you for saying hi. Let's see. Oh, Crater Johnson. Hello. All right. Welcome, welcome. So I am doing a little bit of meal prep after the holiday and chopping it up with you guys because I literally did not stream or show anything over the holiday. I have a few videos I might share. And I had like a whole moment late in the evening. I got to see this really beautiful like aquatic underwater thing. So check out my page to see some of the comments I made. It was so beautiful. I'm still kind of moved by what I saw. So I shared that with you all. And I'm curious to know what your holiday plans are. And thank you for the 10 folks. Can you guys share with some hearts so I know you're present, and also say hello and I'll say hi back. Thank you. Is it Graylin? Oh, very nice. And you're welcome to share. Big moment before my aura became booba. Yes, I bet. I bet. I just learned about the whole aura and Labubu. You know what happened in the, I think it was Google. Google put down like what their 2025 like most viewed or most requested statements were, and people trying to figure out what Labubu was definitely one of them. I still have not seen those things in person. If you guys have seen them, let me know. Because, I mean, I'm just thinking out loud, but like, aren't those the troll dolls? Like, just in a different version? Or that, am I off base with that? Anyway, I'm chopping up some sweet potatoes so that I can roast these and do a little bit of meal prep. But I figured why not hang out with you guys for a little bit while I did so. Is there anybody else that has some meal prep, like cheats, like some ways to do it fast? Do you do it on like Sunday and do all your meals together? I probably grocery shop first, and that takes like a whole afternoon because I'm not a big fan of grocery shopping. I think I like maybe some of the apps that send food to your house, but I don't want to pay for those either. So I go ahead and go to the grocery store and pick out the things I want. I try to go when people are not there, and then come back on the next day and actually like map out my plan for what I'm gonna eat. Because after a trip to the grocery store, I'm not really that motivated anymore to cook. So, oh, and then other question is, so some folks had a little visit from our friendly Black Santa, and so I want to know, did you get what you wanted for Christmas? Let's see. Oh, very nice. How do I do this? Oh, and I just wanted to give a quick shout out. My realtor sent me the cutest little thing. Did you guys see this? I actually cannot cook this right now because I have someone that's a little bit sensitive to extra weird smells. but I will be boiling. It has some aniseed in there, dried oranges. Her name is Crystal Wyatt, and her husband have a realty company, and they're amazing. And I just want to give her a little shout out. She sent me this in my Christmas card, and I loved it. So I can't wait to do it. It smells so good. It's got the cinnamon in there. It's got rosemary. I am totally about the scents. My favorite one is, what do you call it? What's the one you don't like? Lemongrass. Lemongrass is my favorite. Do you guys have any traditions of what you like to make over the holiday? I know our staples are like yams. We used to do sweet potato salad at Christmas, but that was my mom's recipe, and none of us have been able to quite get the exact version that my mom had. So I think we kind of end up not having it most of the time, because if you can't have it the way my mom made it, it's just not even worth it because it was so good. And I'm sorry, these noises with the knife are probably super loud, but... All right, we're on our last giant sweet potato. You see that? Oh, look at that color. That is nature's coloring book. Oh, it's beautiful. And you know how I know they're fresh? These are so hard. Oh, you know what, guys? Do you like my knife? I think my sister calls this, there's a style called oil spill. Is that right? Oil spill. You guys see my knife? Oh, you know where I think I got this? This might have come from Walmart as part of, what is the lady? The Homestead. What is her name? She has a whole line at Walmart. That's kind of got like this color, the color of the handle, everything that she makes is in this color. And I ended up getting this knife. I might have even stolen this knife from one of my daughters. I can't remember. Was this your knife at one point? I might have stolen it from one of my daughters because she got it and wasn't using it. So look at this. These three have come up with quite a bit so far already. Do you guys see how much I have? Yeah. Look at that. Not bad, right? Not bad for 3 nice sized potatoes. Now, they will lose a little bit of volume in the oven once they have, a little bit of oil on them. I like, how can I explain it? A little bit of sweet and savory when it comes to my potatoes. So I will put a little bit of vanilla on here. I'll put some nutmeg. I will also have, and here, I'll come even closer so you guys can see. You can't see everything I'm doing down here, can you? Okay. I like a little bit of nutmeg, vanilla. I don't put any sugar in them because they kind of have their own little roasted natural sweetness that comes out. And then I'll also put just a tad bit of cinnamon. Like, you'll know it's there, but you won't like taste it as straight cinnamon. It kind of gives it a smoky flavor when you are roasting. To be honest, cinnamon is my secret ingredient in a lot of my dishes. I'll toss that in. I got that. So a friend of mine, let's see, it's maybe been 10 years now, was making some chili at my house and showing me their chili recipe, because back then I was doing like catering and whatnot. And he put a bay leaf in his chili, some cinnamon, and it was one more thing. Oh, and a little bit of vanilla. And I was like, those are the weirdest ingredients I have ever seen in chili. But if that was not the best chili I ever had in my entire life, and I'm even talking about like compared to my own chili, that it is what I now put in all of my chili. And I'm like, and if you can do that in chili, can you do that in spaghetti? Can you do that in a soup? And so a lot of people don't know my little secret ingredient is a little dash of vanilla a little dash of cinnamon, and of course, you know, a bay leaf you can kind of play around with. It works in some dishes, but not every dish. And you guys can tell me what kind of cooks I have in the house. If somebody's a novice, or if this is what you always do, is just, you know, try out new things. I like to. I'll take a recipe and you know, I'll make it the way they say make it. And then I'm like, oh, this would be really good with the whatever. All right, we got to clean up because I'm obsessed with cleaning up. Put that to the side. Let's get this cleaning board cleaned off. And, you know, I don't just show you guys the good stuff. I'm going to show you the cleanup too, because that's only fair, right? Okay, we have so much stuff. Oh, and this stuff later, we're not cutting this up. This is my daughter's dish that she's going to make for herself later. Wash our hands. Get a couple things off. And you know what I think I'll do too? I am going to cut up a couple of apples. That'll be my side for like something kind of sweet. That way, and then I'll show you guys the green beans that I have. I'll tell you what's in my green beans. This is what it looks like. This was left over. In my green beans, I cut up about 1 potato in big chunks. I also cut up about maybe like a nice large or medium large onion. There's no meat in these because most of the people in my family are vegetarians. And then I did green beans with salt, pepper, onion powder, and a little bit of garlic. And that's it. And these roast in a crock pot for a few hours, so I don't have to think about it, and it gives it a nice concentrated flavor. Oh yeah, one more thing. You can put a vegetable bouillon cube inside, and it actually helps it out. But this is what's going to also go in my meal prep, so that we don't have any leftovers that don't get used. Now, I also have more sweet potatoes. This came from my sister, but for these I have another plan. I'm going to chop them up and probably roast them as well. And then these will get used later for a dish that I'm going to make, which is I make a butternut squash soup. And I like to kind of have a potato that's going to make it more creamy. And it's easier and kind of more healthy to use a sweet potato than to use a regular white potato. Although a lot of the recipes that you see will say regular white potato. But we're going to do something with our apples, so I'll show you guys that. For now, let's get these going. Got my salt. I've been using a little bit of white pepper instead of just black pepper. Just has a slightly different taste. Let's see. I have some nutmeg in here. I've got my cinnamon. And as I mentioned, I'm going to use a little bit of vanilla. And we're not going to put any sweetener in it because, like I said, the potatoes have their own sweetness. But I'm super curious to know, how do you guys make your roasted sweet potatoes? All right, let's see. I'm trying to get a better angle. I don't know how to do it so you guys see me and you see the food at the same time. But we'll prioritize the food right now. You can hear me, I'm sure. All right, so, and I need a little bit of olive oil. Not too much. You can also use grapeseed oil if you like. So here's my giant bowl. This was just 3 potatoes, and easily, let me just tell you guys for sure. I'll tell you exactly how many cups this is. Okay, who wants to take their first guess at how many cups this is before I even measure? Because I'm kind of shocked myself right now. I'm going to say it's 4 cups maybe. Let's see. So I have a Pyrex. This is a 4-cupper. And this is my Pyrex 8-cupper. So let's try that one. Let's just see. And I know this is liquid, so we're not doing exact volume. I just want to get an idea to show you all about how much the 3 potatoes produced. Because by volume, I'm like really surprised. Oh my God, this is more than 8 cups worth of sweet potato. Wow. So way more than enough to use for the all right. Okay, so we'll do salt last. Let's do garlic powder. And what do the girlies do on the makeup channels? Food is like how the girlies are always doing all kinds of makeup. This is my tutorial. So onion powder. All right, just a little. Like I said, I like a savory sweet potato. I have white pepper from our local grocery store, just because so you don't have to see the dark flecks on the sweet potato. I am going to be a little generous with the nutmeg because it just has, first of all, this wonderful, wonderful smell. And this is like a not powdery. I like this one. It's ground, but not into a powder. I wish I had, fresh nutmeg, because obviously that would go the full distance. This is organic ground cinnamon. And like I said, just a little bit of that for that smoky flavor. And then the piece de resistance is a little bit of vanilla, but I am going to measure that. And I'm going to show you guys, I'm so excited I have, and there's a video in my whole drop down. There is a video in my whole drop down that shows you what I did with my entertainment closet, which I am so excited about. So I will maybe show you guys a little bit of that too later. All right, so what's next? Oh, vanilla. We'll get that going. If you are present, please give me a shout out in the chat. Let me know where you are watching from. And for those of you that are at work, first of all, just thank y'all for your service on the day after Christmas. I think the day after Christmas should be a whole holiday as well, so that you can just have even more time with your family. So please put in the chat where you are chatting from, or watching from rather, I'm sorry. And then also, if you are working today, this is, oh, I'm sorry guys, I need to show you. This is my tablespoon measurer. I'm just gonna do like, let's just start with maybe half a tablespoon. Because I just really want like the hint of that flavor, not too much. And then we're gonna do a little bit of the olive oil. Let's do maybe like a spoonful of that as well. And I love this little. Okay, put that in there. So right now, just so you can see, everything is kind of looking like that right there. Whose mouth is already watering, right? This is going to be so good. So I have to find, let's see. Let me use this to stir it up a little bit. Who's at work right now? Bless your heart. If you have to work in customer service or returns for all those angry, irritated people that are returning stuff, God bless your heart. If you're on that double shift at, GM, Chrysler, Ford, if you're on that double, triple, bless your heart. Thank you for keeping us going on the days that the rest of us are resting. Your work, your effort is not unappreciated. It is not easy to leave your family, especially during the holidays. I know how much I love my family, so thank you for your service and for showing up to work today when I know some of those coworkers called off, but you still came in. I know that you have to work extra hours to make sure that the end of this month does not look crazy for you and you can start off the new year financially. So just know I appreciate y'all. When I had to call on a couple of customer service things today, I made sure I let those people know that I appreciate them. Because, it's the holiday. And it's nice to keep sharing some of that lovely cheer. Now, I'm not going to add any salt. However, I could. If that's your thing and you are wanting to have some salt at this point, you can salt to taste. I do use a pink Himalayan salt, so that's totally up to you. I prefer my meal prep to just add it later because that the more this cooks down, you know, the salts and things like that get concentrate. So it's better to add it after. You also can do regular black pepper. You don't have to do white pepper. I just like the look of it, and it just sort of the white pepper. So it's same taste, different color. That's all. All right. So right now this has like a dry rub on it. I didn't do too much oil, just enough to keep it on. And we are going to, I do want to spray. Let's see, 1 second. Where's my spray? I have a little bit of pan just so I don't want things to slip. And I have a foil pan. I've already preheated my oven. I'm going to let this roast on 350, nice and slow. Nothing covering it. And not too much, just enough to make sure nothing sticks to the pan. All right, and oh, guys, let's see. I want you to see this. Come a little bit closer. It's just some roasted sweet potatoes. Now, if you have food that was left over after Thanksgiving, for sure, think about roasting those extra veggies. If you have some celery, think about juicing. Excuse me. Wash my hands real quick. If you have leftover turkey, the best thing to do right after is to meal prep. All right, I'm going to try to get you guys another shot so you can see me actually putting it in the oven. There we go. Okay. Like I said, the oven is already at 350. These will sit in there and roast for the next, probably an hour to start. But I will go in and test them. Because they're cubed, they will cook a little bit faster. So you don't have to necessarily go the full hour. But I kind of like, you know, when you have potatoes, they've been in the oven, regular potatoes do the same thing. And you kind of let the edges get that nice browning, and it kind of gets crunchy. I love that on mine, but you don't have to have that on yours. Some people just like it roasted and tender. But I like a little bit of that brown goodness. And I might go a little bit longer. We'll see how quickly this goes, but that's going to be for that long. And now I get to show you guys what I'm going to do with the chicken. And I got a set of the, what do you call it? The containers for meal prep. Actually, I got these, I think, last Christmas from my daughter. And I still use them. People actually bring me back my containers, so thank you for all the people who bring me back my containers because I do reuse them. Although I don't mind when you take them because they're totally disposable and that's what they're for. I'm going to clean up on my knives a bit. You guys hang out with me, and we're going to do our chicken, and we'll start to warm up the string beans so that we can divide that up. And you can make your meal prep with any of the food that you had left over from Thanksgiving. I do recommend you do it pretty quickly because you don't want to have too many leftovers in your refrigerator. And the great thing about already having it in a meal prep situation is if somebody does come by to eat, you can just pull one of those out and actually feed them the whole Thanksgiving dinner in an already pre-made meal prep. Or if you have to go to work the next day, it's already in your pre-made meal prep. When you break down all of your food from your Thanksgiving, it is good to go ahead and put all that stuff in meal prep containers. And you got the ones with the dividers or whichever ones you want. I'm going to clean up a little bit. I'll show you the chicken that I have, which I think I got from Sam's. Got some chicken from Sam's. And I am going to put my string beans in a container. I made my daughter some boiled eggs this morning because that's her jam. And then she didn't eat them this morning. So I'm trying to be proactive. Let's see. And then we'll clean up. Oh, I gotta cut up my apples. So I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do with my apples. That's gonna be my dessert. Instead of using sugar, I'll show you, or like straight sugar, I'll show you what I'm gonna use instead, which is a healthier alternative. Won't spike your insulin. And I just want to show you guys, you can eat like all the things you love. It's just the meal prep helps you to control portions, which is extremely important. And the meal prep helps you to minimize waste, which is what we want after we have a ton of leftovers, right? We don't want a whole bunch of food that just sits in a big pot. One of the things my mom taught me when I was younger, and I've seen people do it, it's not actually very healthy at all. I've seen people put a whole pot of whatever they were cooking their food at right into the refrigerator. First of all, it's not good for the other food. It's not good for the other food in your refrigerator because you bring that hot pot in and it changes the whole temperature inside the refrigerator. The other thing is, this is my green beans. I'll show you guys what they look like. Okay. These were leftover. See if we can put that in there. Alright. Throw that away. And you ever see me obsessively wash my hands? I just don't want to cross-contaminate anything. So I wash my hands all the time. Even sometimes one time after the other. Just as I have to, I don't accidentally contaminate anything else. Also, hydrate while you're cooking. It helps you not to eat snacks while you're cooking. And this is a lemon tea. I think I shared that with you guys before. It's my lemon ginger tea. And it is by a company called Taylor, which I love because it was my daughter's name. But and it's a warm tea. I don't put anything else in it, just the warm tea. The tea bags, 2 of them because it's a big container, and my hot water. That's it. Keep it closed all day. Keep it at my desk all day. And when I'm starting to feel hungry or, whatever I might be feeling, I have some option to keep something on my stomach. We are going to use a little bit of this vegetable. It's a vegetable broth organic. I'm just going to put that in here just a little bit. Because I didn't save the juice from this when I was putting it away. Because all the juice ends up doing is it'll freeze and it kind of breaks down your beans a lot more than I wanted mine. I still want them to have some, what my daughter says, integrity. Alright, so all that this really needs to do is just kind of warm up a little bit as I put it in. And that was like maybe half of a container left of the broth. All right, we got to put a couple things away. I think the last thing I'll cut up will be my chicken. And now, let's see. For now, let's cut the apples up because I can start to saute those. I also have some pears that I might throw in there. I don't know how you guys feel about like a sweet fruit that's warmed up. Oh, it reminds me of growing up at my grandmother's house where she would do canning. And when she would can, she would like cut all the apples up, cut everything up that she was going to make, and then kind of line up all the cans. But when she would sanitize and like boil everything and cook it all down, we got to taste it. And so whenever I smell like warm apples or warm pears, it just takes me back to my childhood. So I love that smell because, again, that's the nutmeg, that's the cinnamon, all those goodies. So put in the chat what your favorite like sweet treat is, and Like, why is your favorite sweet treat? All right. Let's see. I'm trying to see you guys' comments, so hopefully you can see all of the comments coming through. I gotta just pause and just take a read. Let's see. All right, I think I'm caught up on all your comments. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. It is so much fun getting to share like my recipes and all the things that I love to do. I love cooking. I have my dream kitchen. It's big. It's got a lot of storage. Oh, maybe I did tell you guys I was going to show you my entertainment closet, didn't I? Okay, hold on. We'll leave that to boil. Actually, I'll turn that down just a little bit. And as promised, I'm going to show you guys a couple things. All right, so I have an entertainment closet. And the reason I need this is that I'm always doing like parties and stuff. Actually, this goes up here. I am always doing parties and having guests over because I love, love, love having people over to share a meal with and hang out with me. So I love, love, love having like all my stuff in one place. And I know it's kind of erratic. There's another video that's like on my page. You can go and check that out. But favorite spot in my home, other than my bedroom, which is where I go to relax. And like I said, I have a kitchen that I absolutely love. It's got tons of space. All right, give me 2 shakes. I gotta go grab something here. Let's see. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, pausing. I'm sorry about the delay. All right, so I have to wash my apples, and let's see, we're gonna get you guys back over on the right side. There we go. Perfect. Thank you guys for going along with me on that ride. I'm sorry if my movements gave you a headache. Did not mean to give you a headache. I am going to clean up the kitchen a little bit more so we can hang out and chat while I clean. Let's see. Can you still see me? We'll knock out some dishes and chat. All right. I have so much stuff in this kitchen right now. Oh, I need to put a few things away. That's part of it. We'll warm up the water. Now, I have a dishwasher, but I don't use it as much as I probably could and should, because I'm kind of clean as you go. And when I'm cleaning, I'm not, piling up too many dishes. And I think since I actually have the storage to put everything away where it needs to go, try to be more useful throughout the process. Some of these are still wet, so we'll just put them to the side. So, been thinking about New Year's plans and what I might be doing. What are you guys doing for the new holiday? Are you ready for 2025 to be over, or you're still enjoying 2025? I had some people who said like they were so over it. And I was like, I'm not gonna say it didn't have its challenges, because every year it does. But 2025, at least for me, was pretty okay. I can honestly say we have some great milestones that we got through. So I don't have a lot of like 2025 complaints. It went as well as to be expected. I mean, we had an entirely new administration come in that, has its share of headaches. But we also, I think, just we're such a resilient country. And I kind of want to just celebrate us for that. Our resiliency with all these changes. A lot of our federal workers and folks who really try to do a great job as service workers, went through a lot. I think they were extremely resilient. So I just want to commend them. So, I mean, yeah, it's been a tough year, but we also have so much to celebrate and so much to be proud of that, look at us, like, for real. Look at us being, warriors through all the challenges. Those of us that have gone through any kind of illness or challenges with our own health or the health of the family, yay you for getting to the end of the year. Yay you. None of that stuff is easy. And, I look at what all we have gone through, and y'all made it look super easy. You know how I know? Because you're still standing, like you're still dealing with all of what you have to deal with, and you still got up this morning. Let's see if we can get you guys over here on the counter so I can talk to you more like face to face. There we go. I'll put you right now. Now you hang out with me doing my own dishes. Yep. That's what through the magic of TV. Through the magic of TV, I do my own dishes. There's no sous chef. I cut my own stuff. Next, after I get done with the dishes, I am going to cut up my apples. I just want to clean everything up, and I don't like any dishes to pile up in the sink. Oh yeah, and shout out to our mamas and our papas. I said that you all are all secret elves for the Santa workshop. So shout out to y'all for making sure your kiddos had a good Christmas, right? Doing all the shopping, plus probably doing all the wrapping, and having to be, secret agents, like FBI agents, not letting your kiddos see what you actually bought. And if you're like me, I used to hide gifts. I still do it. I'll hide a gift somewhere in the house so somebody else doesn't find it, like one of my daughters. And it'll be like a month later. I remember one year I bought something for my daughters, and I didn't find it again until, I think it was Valentine's Day. And I was like, oh, here's your gift. And they were like, wait a minute. It was a Christmas gift that I had forgotten and hid in my closet. And I actually hid it for myself and ended up giving it to them for Valentine's Day because my brain just had totally forgot about all the things I had shopped for and forgot to give it to them. So there's nothing wrong with giving the gift maybe a little bit later. That's certainly okay. It's acceptable. And then, other thing I saw someone did, they made a tradition of also buying themselves a gift at the holidays. They were, saying like, oh, you buy all this stuff for everybody else. It was definitely fun to go through and get all those gifts that you get for everybody else. But try, maybe $10, $15. Doesn't have to be super expensive. Buy yourself something that just floats your boat. Find something that's like your favorite. I'm going to show you guys what I got for myself. Hold on. I got to show you because I love it. I fell in love the moment that I saw it. Hold on. I'll show you guys real fast. All right. So if you've been on my channel, if you have subscribed, you already know that I paint. And so the opportunity that I have to get paint supplies, again, other girlies are doing like makeup, they do shoes, they do purses, all the things. I do paint. And so this beautiful, beautiful palette here is of all the watercolors that I'm going to try out. But what was unique about this, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the watercolor palettes, but usually they're super, super tiny, so you can't get big brushes in them. I was so happy to get this because it has the big squares. Actually, I'll show you guys one of my favorite colors right there. Look at that. It's almost as long as my finger. So this is what I got for myself to have a very, very happy holiday. Love this palette. Cannot wait to get into it. So that was my special thing I got for myself for Christmas. And it wasn't bad. It wasn't like expensive or anything like that. So definitely find a way to treat yourself. Or what did, I think it was in, what was it? Oh, Community. Where one of the characters, I can't remember his name, he used to come on and he'd be like, treat yourself. So, treat yourself. Make sure to treat, I think they had like a whole treat yourself day. Yeah, treat yourself. You take care of everybody else. You're making sure everybody's good. You paid all the bills. What did you do to treat yourself? What did you do to say, job well done for you? What did you say? How did you show yourself that you cared about yourself? And I know they talk about self-care. You can do that too. You might have done some self-care. Go get your nails done. Go get your hair done, whatever the case may be. I like doing projects and actually finishing them. That is my self-care. Because I have so many projects that I start and then I don't finish them. So part of my self-care is definitely getting that part done. Alright. Let's see. So the green beans are almost boiling. I can smell the sweet potatoes in the oven right now. Yes, I can. I can smell them right now. Okay, if you are on my page and in the chat, let's see, please tap and give a heart. Thank you for those who have already given a thumbs up or a heart. Please let me know where you are from. Say hello in the chat or send a heart in the chat so I'll know you stopped by for a visit. And then I was going to share something else with you guys. You know that time when, like, I don't know, I guess I want to talk about like those butterflies in your stomach when you like somebody. Remember back when y'all were crushing in high school? That's been my vibe like all week, has been just that giddy, happy, energetic feeling. And if you guys are not sure, the contrast to that is that feeling right after you break up with somebody. When you're like, I can't eat, I can't sleep, I don't want to think about anything. I have been vibing on that same energy. Like when you first meet somebody, they're super attractive. And you can, like, as soon as you see their number on your phone, you get all excited. That is like the energy this week with my family hanging out. I've been like so giddy. My kids, actually I didn't know if they were both going to be able to come into town. So when they both actually came in, I was like, okay, that's what's up. Thank you, guys. Like, I didn't want to wish for it because, you know, I know they have busy schedules. I know they have things they have to do, but for them both to be able to be here at the same time, we don't get a lot of opportunities for that. So that was cool. And it just had me like on cloud nine. We got to spend the whole day together yesterday for Christmas. That was a lot of fun. And so I just been super happy and blessed. And I guess that's partly what I wanted to share with y'all today. That I'm like totally feeling myself right now. I'm not feeling these dishes though. I mean, like, I don't mind cleaning up as I go, but that's not my favorite thing to do. All right, so now we're gonna get into chopping these apples for our little meal prep dessert, which is gonna be a really good sort of natural flavor dessert. Okay, dishes are done. Albeit by the hair of our chinny chin chin, the dishes are done. All right, let's see. All right. Uh-oh, let's see. I think that was it for the dishes. And if you're here, just say hi in the chat. Oh, let me see if the chat is on like I want it to be on. Let's see. We'll move you guys back over here. Let's see, can you see me? Yeah. Hopefully you can. All right, let's see. Oh, hi, Graylin. Alyssa. All right, let's see. I'm waving to everybody all at one time. I'll wave. That's the easiest thing to do. And it'll probably take like a second because the live isn't like this weird behind delay. So hopefully you guys are seeing my wave back. I don't know why this channel does such a long delay. I guess, I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi or what, but I'm saying hello to everybody at the same time because your messages come in pretty slow. All right. It is at the halfway mark. I'm going to peek in on my potatoes. And I think I'm going to give them a little flip just so everything gets brown on all the sides. Let's see. Oh, if you guys could smell this. Okay, let me pour this out. Oh, it smells so good. I'm gonna flip these just a little bit, nothing major, just enough so all the corners get that nice browning. Oh, it smells so good. These are gonna be delicious in my meal prep. And it's taking me a little bit longer because I'm trying to show you guys everything, but this usually goes like super fast. Meal prepping, if you can, like roast as much as you can so you're not standing over the stove. It does not have to be a whole process where you're doing like 5 and 6 pots. The other thing is, don't forget, like I use my crock pots all the time. I have 2 little ones and I have like a medium. I think it can hold like maybe a quart. This is the medium. This one right here is my medium, and then I have one that's like 3 times this size. I use my crock pots almost every single day, one shape or form or another, to warm things up if it was frozen, or to make things. Some of the crock pots, like my big crock pot, can actually, turn that down a little bit more. My big crock pot can actually, you can saute in it and then add whatever your other food items are going to be, all in the one pot, so you don't have to like even use another dish to mess up. All right. And the only reason I'm boiling that, you guys, is because it was frozen, because like I told you, we were like cleaning up and wrapping up what we were making for for Christmas. All right, so the next thing is going to be, let me move these over here, is I have some apples that I need to clean real quick. And this is going to be part of my little meal prep dessert. I put the other items all in one container, but for my little dessert, I put that separate, because not every night do I have dessert, but I do like having a little something sweet. And I'm cutting off the label off of all of these. Let's see if this one has one too. Cut that off. Gonna rinse these off a little bit. Get everything washed up really nicely. I actually do have an apple core. So let me see if I can find my apple core. I don't even know why. I guess I have like every utensil, and if I don't need to be cooking, right? All right, everything got a good rinse. I'm gonna turn this back around so you can hopefully, let's see. Are you able to see? Here, let me pull back a little bit. Now you'll be able to see me cut up the apples too, hopefully. We still cut some of our seasonings out because we are going to use those, a couple of them, in the little apple bake that I'm going to make. So I have my apple core here. If this is your first time on my channel, give me a shout. I just twist this around and then it should pull this right out. Well, it did not pull it all the way out. Let's see, let's try it again. There we go. Twist that around. There we go. The whole core comes out. And now I can make these really cute little apple rings. This apple's a little bit longer than my actual core here. So I'm going to also come on this side, go down, give it a little twist, and the rest of the core comes right out like that. Super easy. This one right here, this is going to make your apple bake much easier and attractive. Let's see. Oh, so these apples are bomb. Oh, and just a shout out, my aunt sent me, I think it's called Harry and David, the best fruit. I have never had one of their gift baskets before, and she sent me one, and it was so good. I was beside myself. I did not want to finish it because I was like, I don't want, these are so good. All right, so I'm just putting a little hole through the middle. You can kind of, you know, like I said, my core, if you notice, is shorter, so I also have to come at it from the other side. But this little apple bake is going to be my sweet dessert this week. All right, so I'm going to go down, go all the way down, give it a nice twist, pull it out. That part of the core came out. I'm only doing this about 4 times, and then we'll make these nice and beautiful, beautiful little dessert rings. Or we may just chop them up. I don't know. I kind of am trying to figure out what I want to do with these as I go. If you have ideas about what I should do with these apples, please put it in the chat. Or if you have an apple recipe like from a different state or like your family tradition, I'm curious of what people are actually doing with their apple bake. I saw one thing where they actually did, I think it was like a crumb bake, because they actually put like little pieces of apple inside the crust. Oh. All right, so those are all out of there. I think that's all good. Let's get this out of the way so we can clean up and get ready to chop and see what we're going to do. Either we'll keep them as rings or make it half a ring. Again, these have a lot of water in them, so as they cook down, they will reduce a little bit. Let's get this out of the way. All right. Don't need that now. Again, thank you all for hanging out with me. I'm going to turn the string beans off. We have 28 minutes left on the sweet potatoes. And I'm going to keep these kind of thick because, like I said, they will cook down a little bit. And the slices don't have to be perfect, but you do kind of want them about the same size, only because they'll cook more evenly if you do them this way. And we're going to do something a little bit different too. We start these on the stove, and then we finish them in the oven for the baking part. And I don't terribly worry about any brown spots because these are a couple days old. I do, however, if you see anything looks like maybe a little worm or any kind of insect got inside of it, you definitely don't want to eat them if you can tell that the flesh hasn't had any kind of breach of its integrity. And I might actually put these in like a half size. Maybe we'll do it that way. Now, I do want to get them into a little water bag with a plastic bowl. And I'll add a little bit of lemon juice to them. Where's my other bowl? 1 second. I'll use this one. These are my favorite bowls, you guys. These were a wedding gift in what, oh gosh, 1998? No, 1997 is how long I have had those. And I absolutely love them because guess what? They lasted longer than the marriage. The marriage lasted about 10 years, but I still have the dishes almost 20 plus years later. So thank you, Pyrex. They were Pyrex brand. It was on our registry. I was so glad because the person that got all of them for us was just being thoughtful. And to this day, I am reminded that they were a wedding gift, but I'm also reminded that the marriage did not last as long as the Pyrex did. And I almost want to tell like Pyrex that should be a commercial because, yeah. All right. Got one more apple to take down. And the only reason I put it in water so they don't brown too fast before I have a chance to get them into the oven. There's water. And then I heard someone else also told me I think that when you put them in water, I think it does something with like the sugar content. So I don't know. You guys can help confirm for me because I don't know for sure. Right, this is the last apple. This was only like 4 apples, maybe the equivalent of about maybe 3 or 4 cups of apples. But you make however many you want to make. Our main goal here is that we don't want anything left over that didn't get used on Christmas that we can actually turn into meal prep after the holiday and use everything left over in our kitchen. Leftover food that didn't get eaten, and the other staples that we have in and around the house to come up with a really nice food prep. All right, we're going to wash off our cutting board. Excuse me, this is where I do wish sometimes I had more than one camera. That's what happens on the cooking shows when they cut away. So, the pan that we're going to use, I'm wondering, I should probably use my big one. That way I have plenty of room to move around. We're going to keep this, I don't want it too high. We just want like maybe a medium heat. See if I can come a little bit closer and let you guys actually see. You don't necessarily need to see me. There we go. Hopefully you can see my wonderful pan. Sorry about the camera action. I know it's like all over the place. I think that's the stability, whatever. All right, so we will put this in, but I want to start it off with a little bit of butter, and Also, in the butter, I am going to put a little bit of oil. And this is probably like the easiest recipe you could ever make. It's real simple. Oh, and I told you guys I have like a secret ingredient, right? Let me grab it right now. The other thing that you can put in it, because this is my favorite. Hold on. All right, let's see. You guys see? Okay. Another thing. So I have a big chunk of butter, but the amount that I'm going to put in, let's see if we can get the camera is not being agreeable. Hopefully you guys can see it. I don't know. I have to probably do some post video editing. You are going to use about this much butter. And I know it looks like a lot, but it's because of the type of turn this down. I just want to melt this. Gonna melt it. Melt it down. And then I put these in. And they will start to release a lot of their own sugar, which is kind of nice. Okay? And this is almost like a, what I want to say. I wonder if I should have cut them down a little bit more. We'll see. We'll see how they do. You do want to have a top for this. Let's see here. We'll use this one. Nope, that's not the right one. Oh, and while it's in there, this is when I am going to add a generous amount of nutmeg. Very, very generous. Okay. A generous amount of cinnamon to your taste. Cinnamon's pretty strong, so that's really up to you how much you want to add. It's gonna seem weird, but it's for balance. I do a couple squeezes of salt. And then this right here, because you do want to add a little balance of sweetness. Not a whole lot. All right, I am going to take, I think this is my teaspoon, 1 teaspoon of the blue agave nectar. This is the organic version. And I'm going to start with this much. Okay, let's do one more. Because I forgot I have 4 apples in here. I put a little bit more of that. And the reason I do that instead of regular sugar is that you don't want to spike up. You want to have your sweetness and what have you, but you do not want to spike up your blood sugar. This will do a much better job and not have it go up too high. And like right now, a lot of the water is already coming out of these apples. We're just going to keep cooking that down until they start to caramelize. Oh, it smells so good in here. We'll let that cook for just a little bit longer. This over here. We'll check in. We've got 18 minutes left on our sweet potatoes that are coming out really nicely. Let me see if I can show you guys a close-up of our sweet potatoes. This is just what a couple of them look like. Oh. You see that? That's what your sweet potatoes should start to look like. They've got like browning. I kept the skin on. Yep, I kept the skin on because I want all the nutrients. I don't want to leave anything on the table. All right, I'm gonna give them another little toss. Just a little bit, nothing major. Most of them have already been tossed already, so I don't want to like have anything unevenly cooked or like brown just on one side. We are just sauteing very slightly our apples on like a very low heat with the cover over. Now I do add these cranberries just because I like apples and cranberries together. This is purely for taste. It does not enhance or change anything in the way if you were to not add those, because that's not like your flavor. I'm gonna leave my cinnamon out, but we can put some other things away. It's completely up to you if you want to add cranberries or, I mean, dare I say raisins. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen raisins with like an apple bake, but I've definitely seen cranberries. So that's up to you and your favorite. Oh, I almost forgot. See, you guys, I'm sorry, I got distracted and forgot to add my vanilla. And again, this is only like half a teaspoon amount. And maybe like a teaspoon and a quarter. Okay. And we'll make sure everything gets coated. There's a generous amount of nutmeg in here. And like I said, they give off their own juices, so you really don't have to add any major sweetness because the natural sugars in the apples and the liquid in the apples kind of comes out on its own. But we're going to cook these until they're nice and tender, but not like floppy. Just enough to there's like a caramelized liquid at the bottom that's kind of building up almost like a syrup, maybe I'll say. And then these are actually going to finish in the oven. And they'll get baked in their own caramelized juices. I might even put them, are we going to be fancy and put them in their own little containers? I don't know. Let's see. All right, we'll put the top back on that. It's time for some more tea. Oh. All right, let's see, what else do we have? Thank you for sticking with me. I don't know who my two folks are, but thank you for sticking with me. Or what does my daughter say? Sticking beside me. Please say hello in the chat. Let me know where you are watching from. It is my pleasure to have you on the scene. And definitely my pleasure to share like my little home recipes with you. Because you just, you never know what you might have to do. These are all like pantry staples. We're just turning them into a really good way to not waste. That's the whole name of the game today. We are not wasting anything. We're using leftovers. We're using some of the items I already had on hand. I could have totally put pears in here as well. So I'll come and show you guys. I could have put pears in here. I could have put even peaches. Sometimes people have kind of started their peach cobbler this way. I am not a peach fan in that way. Like, I don't like peach flavor. I like peaches, but they kind of already got to be in their cobbler form, I guess, maybe. But I really only like them cooked. Just because they have, I don't know, they have a weird taste to me when they're not cooked. Maybe that's just how I grew up. That is like a staple for me. All right, so technically we're at the 40-minute mark with our sweet potatoes. Then we could, I'm going to pull out a thick one, just so we can see if a fork goes all the way through. And if it does, technically we can pull them out right now. But I told you guys I'm going to leave mine a little bit longer because I do like to have the option. Oh, look at that. Hold on, let's see what we got here. Oh, we might have lost that one. Oh yeah, fork tender. That's what fork tender looks like. Does the fork go through easy? Look at that. That is gonna be good in this week's meal prep. And what amount of nutrients? I need to even look it up. Let's look it up and let's talk about what's really in sweet potatoes because that's going to be our start of this whole meal prep right now. Let's talk about the sweet potatoes. And I mean, you guys maybe already know, but for those in the back of the class who don't know about the great benefits of sweet potatoes. So let's see. What does, let's see, what are the new platforms? Gemini. Let's see what it says. Let's see, what do we learn? If you already know what some of the benefits are of sweet potatoes, you can add it to the chat. Or as my daughter says, chat, what do you say? Chat, chat. Let's see. All right, so like in 10.1 seconds, sweet potatoes are considered a nutritional powerhouse, offering a significant health benefits that range from immune support to improved digestion. Okay, rich in vitamin A, one medium potato can provide over 100% of your daily nutritional vitamin requirement for vitamin A. So when we put 4 in there, we just literally jam-packed everything. It's good for maintaining healthy vision and a strong immune system. High in fiber, which I did not realize how much we are not getting enough fiber every day. So if you have an opportunity to increase your fiber, please do. It helps with digestion. It helps with regular digestion and waste removal. Definitely getting a lot of high fiber is good for gut health. And it also feeds beneficial gut bacteria. Antioxidants properties, like in purple sweet potatoes, as beta carotene. It reduces oxidative stress and inflammation in the body. So if you are, in really crazy environments, like you work at a plant, you work in a hospital, you need those to help flush out the toxins in your cells so that you, excuse me, so that you have a healthier cell recovery. Blood sugar management is another one. Let's see, what else do we have? We have blood sugar management. Let me see, what else? It says, oh, okay. Blood sugar management, and they have lower glycemic index, so slower rise in blood sugar levels. And those matter because as you have those spikes, your body is only able to manage so much insulin at a time. So wherever you can eat something that doesn't spike it up faster, that your body has to work overtime to get your levels back regular. Heart healthy, and it's again, we're talking about sweet potatoes, which is the star of our program today and our meal prep. Health, let's see, oh, potassium, and manages blood pressure by counteracting the effects of sodium. That's why also I showed you guys we did not add any salt to the sweet potatoes before we put them in the oven. If you want to add it later, it's better to do it after they're cooked and to do it so that you can actually eyeball and see how much you're putting on it, so that you don't overdo it on the salt for these sweet potatoes. I'm so sorry, you guys. I have to wash my hands again. I'm getting over a really bad cold, so please forgive me. All right. Also, it is better to eat the skin on because that is where all the fiber and the potassium sit. That's where they reside. So if you cut all that off, then you immediately start to reduce some of the main benefits that the sweet potato has, which is in the skin. Now, when I was younger, I did not like the skin. It took me some time to get used to like the flavor and not, mind. And I found that roasting was a great way to sort of tenderize the skin. So if you don't like the skin on, roasting is a good way to do it. Also, when you saute them. The other thing is, let's see. Um, let's see here. There we go. The other is you can add a little bit of fat. So we added olive oil. You can also do avocado oil. It's really up to you. I've also used grapeseed oil. And I forgot why I stopped using grapeseed oil for everything. But anyway, you can use grapeseed oil as well because it helps your body to absorb a lot of the fat soluble vitamin A that is in the sweet potatoes. Also, it is a great vegetable, very versatile for a lot of different things. So I'm going to taste my sweet potato, and I kept the skin on as we talked about. Just clean the outside really, really well. I have a vegetable cleaning brush. There's also a solution that you can get from the grocery store to help spray onto it, but I didn't really want to add another spray. I just tried to keep it really simple with a little bit of soap and water and, try to clean them up and scrub them up real good. The other thing is I leave the peel on, but I do remove anything that looks like it might have like penetrated the skin. If you have a potato that has that, don't eat it. Cut that part off, whatever you need to do so that you don't like contaminate your diet with something weird that crawled into your potato. All right. It's so tender. It's so good. I love sweet potatoes. Now, as I told you guys, you can stop at 40 minutes for roasting these because they were cut up into nice, like maybe inch-sized chunks. But I like mine to be a little bit brown and crispy around the edges and more caramelized in the oven. So I go about maybe probably almost an hour. I go a little bit over an hour to get that texture and that crispiness that I want. Anyway, we're going to check our apples that we are roasting. Sauteing so that we can roast. Oh yeah, they're still nice and firm. And now I do want to let a lot of the water, so they've gone down in volume by like a third already. But the more that I let them kind of sit in their juices, the juices will, because it already has the natural sugar in it, the juices will start to help it caramelize. It'll have a little coating. We might add a little more sweetness to it. But let's see, I'm gonna see if I can give you guys some close up. Can you see that? You see all those delicious bubbles? That's the good stuff. That's the stuff that's a natural baked. You don't have to add extra sugar. And it will come out delicious. I promise you. I promise. If this recipe doesn't come out like amazing, I owe you dinner. Just keep letting that kind of cook down. Now, I'm going to try to get away without adding any additional sugar. However, sugar does tend to help it caramelize. We added some agave, which I believe will give us the same outcome. So, let's just see. These are doing really good. And the more they kind of sit here, they'll start to let out a lot of their own sugar and begin to caramelize. So yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for this, I don't even know how long we've been on live, but thank you. Thank you for sticking beside me. Oh, so our meal prep. I can start getting that stuff ready so you guys can see me kind of get the meal prep containers together. I am thinking that I'm going to be able to do at least 4, maybe more. I'll have some some of them are left over, but I got these meal prep containers. With these clear tops. That's what the makeup girlies do. I don't know. I'm just... Now, as I mentioned, the chicken was already done. It was actually some leftover chicken. So all I'm going to have to do with that, I'm not even going to warm it up. I'm just going to slice it up. I also have green beans and I have our sweet potatoes. Now, there are 3 compartments. This really big one and these 2 little ones. I'm putting green beans in one of the compartments and I'm going to put chicken in the other because we don't need as much meat as we might think we do. The meat is just a little bit of protein, but you don't even have to use it. I'm using it because it was left over from Christmas, and so I don't want to waste anything, so I'm going to use it. But normally I would not even add any meat to this meal prep. It would just be the green beans and probably sweet potato, and I would be perfectly okay with that. I also have some salad. I think it was a kale salad. I might have done something like a kale salad with the sweet potatoes and the green beans. So, because I can eat sweet potatoes like they are the meat. They are the star. I've also done the same thing with mushrooms before. So, there's this wonderful, wonderful young lady, and I wish I could remember her name. If anybody knows who she is, tag her for me. But she has a whole channel that says, mushrooms are meat, period. Like, it's a full stop, full sentence. All right, so we are going to cut up our chicken. I shall get my cutting board again. And I got this cutting board from Aldi's, folks. Yeah, so if you need a cutting board, please check out Aldi's. They have some really nice stuff, and it's always usually very inexpensive. So, all right. We are, again, don't have to do anything with this, but just cut it up. And I try to cut in smaller pieces because, you know, I found out something else too, y'all. We do not chew our food up well enough. I could probably do a whole segment on how we are not chewing our food very well, which chewing does a couple of things. It helps with obviously breaking down the food that we eat, but it helps to satiate us when we chew properly and enough. And it helps with digestion because our food is already broken up into smaller pieces. So I am getting much better at, like, if I don't kind of think I'm going to chew as well as I should, I will cut my food up into really tiny pieces. And it's mostly the foods that really require like a whole lot of chewing, not so much the things that like are already kind of soft, like a mashed potato or what have you. Anything that requires a lot of chewing, we just do not do a great job of that. All right, that's our potatoes at, let me just see how they look. That's our potatoes at 1 hour. And, I'm going to go a little bit longer. Y'all kind of like a little more brown. I'm going to go, let's see what 5 more minutes looks like. Go 5 more minutes and see. All right, so I cut these into real tiny diced pieces so that I don't have as much to chew, so that I can aid in my own digestion of this food, particularly meat. We just don't chew our food that well. And it can actually impact the entire digestion experience and the waste removal experience. So cut your food into smaller pieces like your mom and dad used to do when you were younger, because they knew what they were doing, so that you... And then I do measure how much I put. So the amount that I will do, let's see. The amount of meat, this is a half a cup. Keep me honest, this is half a cup. And I will scoop in and measure for each one of these just half a cup, so that in my meal prep I don't go over the amount of ounces that I want to go over for how much food I'm actually consuming. Because the other thing about meal prep is what? Portion control. For the whole class, portion control. All right, let's see here. And if you have liked what you've seen so far, please give this channel a thumbs up and like and subscribe. And feel free to comment. I also have a community board on here that is where you can share your ideas, your thoughts, and you'll see me post a few things about what's coming up and what I'm working on. So I love having you guys here with me. Thank you for coming along for the ride and seeing what I do with meal prep this week. All right. Okay. So this is just cutting this down into smaller portions so that it makes the chewing of this easier. And we're measuring out, which I think, like I said, I figured I could get at least 4 servings because I knew I had about that much in the meat. But I'm going way heavier on the sweet potatoes that we're going to add. That's actually our star of this meal prep dish. All right, so let's see here. Yep, I think we have just enough, like a perfect, maybe like an ounce over, so I think I got enough to put into this one. There we go. That gave me about 2 cups of chicken, so that does not get wasted. Yay us for stretching our budget and using everything we have. Let's clean these up. Meal prep with your family is also a good thing to do if you can. I was going to show you guys, I do have a kale salad that I am going to use if I have extra potatoes. I'll put that one in that one. All right. We can actually put our green beans in because the very last thing coming out will be our now the green beans, I don't really necessarily measure those because, like I said, they're vegetarian. We'll give this a little stir, which is we're caramelizing our apples. And those juices are just cooking down, getting that nice sweet. Oh, it's going to be so good. And I believe I can show you guys. This is now rendered down to about half. All right, we're going to do our green beans now. And I do have a strainer. I don't put the juice in here for the green beans, only because I don't want, you know, if I travel with these, I don't want juice like all over the place. So really strain your green beans good. And so right now, this is what our stuff is looking like. We've just got our chicken. All right, and our green beans are vegetarian green beans. Let's see, that's our potatoes. And I'm going to leave those for now because I can finish out this part of our meal prep. Now, there were some potatoes and onions with the green beans. That's all that's in here with just the seasonings. And again, you guys, this was leftover, so we are stretching our Christmas leftovers and putting them into meal prep measured containers. And what I think is so great about these is if somebody does come over and they're hungry, if you can put your leftovers already in divider containers, it makes it easy when someone needs to take a plate home. Because I don't know what it is, but when you are telling people, oh, go make a plate to take home, nobody moves. You know why? Because they don't want to have to do this. They don't want to do this part. So if you can have this already done for all your guests, and then when it comes time to actually clean up, you have very little to clean up because you have already put things in a to-go container. All right, well, and this took up like half the green beans. Now, whatever I don't use for this meal prep, because, you know, after a day or two, you might get tired of the green beans, I will refreeze these. All right. Again, strain it so you don't have the extra liquid. These are caramelizing now. Oh, it looks really good. And like I said, they will finish the rest of their work in the oven. So everything is nice and evenly coated. They cook down in their own juices, so no extra sugar, like white sugar. The only type of sweetener that we put in there was a little bit of agave, and I only put like a full teaspoon of agave in there. All right, now we are going to pull out the sweet potatoes. Yay, they're done. And this is, like I said, you can switch it up where I have the chicken. You can do salad instead of the chicken. Oh, this is so beautiful. Oh, I wish you guys could smell this. And like I told you, I like for them to get a little bit of brown so you can see. And I kept the skin on. Oh, look at that. Nice and tender. That is the star of our show. So we are going to make sure that we put these right in here. That is the bulk of what we're putting in our meals. And overall, I mean, this should take you literally like 40 minutes or less because you do want to roast this. But you've got 4 meals over the next couple of days. You've used your leftovers so you don't have any waste. You've got a healthy alternative to fast food or what other things you might have eaten instead of making your own. And I am going to leave a little bit out because one of these I can actually eat today. Those are good. I'm going to let those cool so that I can put them away in the refrigerator. This last little bit, let's see, it might fit in here. This, I can actually eat some of these today. Who loves sweet potatoes like I do? Let's see. I don't even have words. Remember I told you we did not add any salt. I did not add any sugar. I didn't even add the agave into this. Just the vanilla, the nutmeg, the cinnamon. See that? This will be for later. This is like I think this is an 8-ounce container, if I recall correctly. All right, that is for later. Now I'm going to show you how I do the apple bake. Move this out of the way. My paper towel over here. So I have some of the Pam for baking. This is a small dish. I do have another little decorative dish I'll show you. If you want to make this fancy for your guests. If you ever want to make it nice and cute and fancy for your guests, You can use a little container like this. Let me show you what it looks like. If I were entertaining with this apple bake, I would put these in these little pots like this. Too honey, as my mom would say. I have 4 of those, and I bake them in those, and then bring them out to my guests once we're actually all sitting down and eating, just for the whole presentation purposes. All right. Oh, let me stop, because I'm about to do something that that's how I pull off the paper towel, just to wash my hands one more time. Because I just got done with the sweet potatoes and the savory. And this way I can do the apples. And then when those are done baking, and I might not be able to show you guys all of that, because I think we're almost at like 2 hours. I don't even know how long we are. Just put a little bit of this in. The only reason I'm coating this with the baking kind is because this will caramelize, and it'll kind of set up in such a way that it will stick. So I just want you to see, these are the apples. Look at that. Oh, I had 4 beautiful apples from Harry and David's. It was a gift basket from my aunt. But I'm going to put these in here. All right. And it's almost like an apple pie, but this is no crust. We don't want any crust. But we do want this to bake down. Now, they're like semi-firm still. They're not all the way soft just yet, but they will be once they're done baking just a little bit. And then I don't have a lemon. Oh, maybe I do. I might have a lemon. I usually squeeze a little bit of lemon juice over them. I don't have a lemon, so I'm going to have to use an orange right now. So I do this for a couple reasons. Having a little bit of citrus, oddly enough, it totally wakes up food. If you ever have like chicken or you have some fish, you know how they bring out that little piece of lemon for you? It's because it sort of wakes up the flavors in your food. Well, it does the same thing in some baked goods. I'm not going to tell you you can use it in every baked good, but in some of them. Where's my other knife? Here we go. All right. Actually, I'll do it this way. I do have, here it is. And you don't need a lot, just a little bit. I'm only using this because it'll be faster than trying to juice it any other way. This is not quite enough, but I'm going to get like enough for 2 spoonfuls maybe. Like I said, if I had a lemon, it would be a little bit better, but I think we'll achieve the same citrusy flavor with a little bit of the orange. And it's just to give it a little bit of a live wake. So I have hopefully like maybe enough for 2 spoonfuls. Okay. Again, I tell you guys, I have all these little secret ingredients, right? And these will continue to cook down. And then this will be our dessert for the week as well. Well, at least our dessert with these 4 meal prep dishes. And I just want to show you, hold on, let's see, hopefully I can show you this. This is still a little bit firm, but soft as well. I can still, move it and be flexible. It still has a little bite to it. But the taste, phenomenal. I'll even put a little bit more vanilla. All right. And I told you guys I am a nutmeg fan. A little bit of nutmeg. And then I told you guys my other added ingredient that I love. I don't really have to saute them because they kind of are already, if you will, cooked. But I just like the flavor that they add. Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna make my cranberry bread. I have like an eggnog cranberry bread that I think I'll share with you guys. And so those will kind of absorb the liquid as well. You don't have to really do too much with them. Let's see if I have any more juice. If there's any orange juice left, like I said, you can just get all those little orange bits in there. Again, orange juice, lemon, either one would work fine. Okay. Squeeze all of that in there. And then this is going to go in the oven. I'm going to say 20 minutes, but you also kind of got to eyeball this because every oven is a little bit different. We don't want it to burn. We still want it to stay kind of caramelized, but nice and bubbly and thick is the goal here. And you do not have to cover it. Like I said, I like cranberries on mine. You do you. Our oven is already still hot from the sweet potatoes. So we'll put that in. And we'll make sure we don't make a mess anywhere. Oh yeah, we're doing good. And now it's cleanup time. That is our last thing, everybody. So that apple bake is going to come out delicious. It will be part of our dessert with our meal prep. Our meal prep looks like this right now. Hopefully you can see it. Look at that. We did that today. You did that with me. Like I said, only about a half a cup of chicken, our green beans and potatoes, and our sweet potatoes. That's the star of our dish today. And then our dessert is going to be our apple bake. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. I think we're at 2 hours. And you guys have to tell me, what do you do about having like a second camera? Because having one camera is just not working for me. Anyway, I am Tia Marie. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. It was a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. Hope to see you next time. Bye.